and you just show a big 0, and you show the stats of just the Raiders, you could probably convince someone that this is a first quarter stat line.
Yeah.
First quarter game.
Yeah.
0 points. Geno Smith had 10 completions. He had 67 yards. 67. It just feels so weird to say now. 67 yards. 6, 7. No 1, no 2. Under 100 yards. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast, Field Goals and Forecast, presented by Afterthought Sports, now on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. I'm Ron Adio, alongside my good co-host, James Derrick. Week 7 of the NFL is gone, and one without the Bills, one where many teams run a bye week. First of all, let me say that. Mm-hmm. But a lot of good games this week, as per usual. A lot of very straightforward games. I feel like the team that was supposed to win won most of the time. Yeah, most of the time. No real underdog stories here. But of course, there were no Bills this week, so we cannot talk about the Bills. No. Let's just jump straight into our field goals of the week. And no, we're not talking about kicks. We're talking about the good, the no good, and the not even close. In other words, what went well this week and what just didn't. First of all, James, I've done a lot of talking in the past minute and a half. Yeah. How are you, first of all? Is that part of the good, no good?
No, I'd say for me so far this week, I'd probably put me in the not even close, to be completely honest. All right. But by the end of the week, I plan on being, in the what was good. So
next week. Yeah.
It's about showing improvement over time. Has a professor ever told you that? Just we'll improve over the course of the week. Monday exists, Tuesday exists, so not even close. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree. But let's talk about some football. The Unks, they still got it, all right? Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers in a shootout in the Icy Hot Bowl.
This was so fun.
Unbelievable game on Thursday Night Football. They call him Joe Flacco, Joe Calm. Because, Joe Burrow's Joe Cool. They got Joe Calm, 31 of 47, 342 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Unbelievable game from the Bengals. What do you expect out of that team now? Now that Joe Flacco or Joe Calm has shown up.
Joe, can you say calm again?
Calm.
I don't know. I just like the way you say it. Okay. Joe Calm, but
how else do you say calm?
You're saying it correctly. You're not saying it wrong. Okay. I just like the way you say it. I don't know. Calm. I think this is going to imply great things for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Unfortunately, Browning, we had our thoughts that he'd be able to get them the ball and spread the wealth. He didn't. And Joe Flacco, I called it. How do you bet against him playing the Steelers? He already beat them this year. Now he's going to come back. He beat them again. He threw for over 300 yards. I think he just knows how to beat them, in all honesty. He's been around so long. He knows Mike Tomlin probably personally at this point because the NFL, they're a bit of a family. So,
he played for the Ravens for 15 years.
Yeah.
He knows this division. I was so surprised when the Browns traded him to the Bengals. They just traded interdivision just for fun.
And this is gonna pay off for the Bengals. I can see them winning a lot more games now. Yeah. I'm not saying that their defense will probably, unfortunately for them, still allow. The Steelers scored 31 points, probably around that number every week. But Joe Flacco gives you a chance to match that or exceed, and win a football game.
Obviously, final score 33-31 to the Bengals. Didn't believe I was going to be able to say that this week, but Jamar Chase is one of those reasons. 16 receptions. 16. He had 25 targets.
Nice.
20. I think the game plan this week was, Joe, just throw it to him. I don't care if he's open. I don't care if he's got 3 guys on him. Throw the ball in his direction. He's going to catch it at some point.
Hey, man, Joe Flacco's a guy that understands that. He knows how to get the best player the ball. He's basically, I don't know how many years he's been in the NFL at this point. However, Joe Flacco, he knows how to get things done scheme-wise. He's very smart. So he's going to be able to get Jamar Chase the ball. That's the biggest takeaway I have from this game and going forward as well.
Yeah, and of course, got to talk about the other side as well. Aaron Rodgers, 23 of 34, 250 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, though, against the Bengals defense, which is a bit shaky, but a lot of those yards were to Pat Freiermuth, of all people. 5 receptions, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't even know what to say about the Steelers because they played well, but the defense isn't there. It's so strange seeing a Steelers team with a good offense and a bad defense.
Strange. It's like, wow, they score 30 and now they lose. You know, it used to be like if you could just reach like a magic number of like 20, you got the game guaranteed. But no, they played well. Don't get it twisted. The defense didn't, of course. So
right.
That's why they lose.
And I guess, is this a Bengals resurgence, are we seeing? Or is this just the Steelers defense really falling off a cliff?
It's got to be a little of both.
Okay.
It's never just one or the other. It's always a little bit of both. I mean, you can't ignore 31 for 47, 342 yards with 3 touchdowns from Joe Flacco. But the Steelers gave him that pretty much, I think. And the defense is a little older. I mean, you saw that they traded for Jalen Ramsey. Patrick Queen isn't quite playing at the level that I think he's capable of. I think maybe it has to do with the fact that he is lacking some of those supporting pieces around in the secondary.
Jalen Ramsey, man. I don't have too much to say about him, but he's not playing well. He's playing okay. His defining moment this year was a tackle on Garrett Wilson in week 1 to not lose to the Jets. Yeah,
man, that was don't forget about that game.
At the time, that was a big deal, but
and then we realized the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We'll get more into that. That's a no good topic. Are the Bengals a playoff team? They get Joe Burrow back in mid-December.
It's like, how many losses do they have at that point? Like if they're sitting at like 8 losses, you go, no.
Is Joe going to be able to keep the boat steady until Joe Burrow comes back? Until Joe comes back.
Is Joe going to be able to keep the boat steady till Joe comes back?
Yeah.
I would say yes. Steady enough? I don't know. If he's going to make Joe Burrow play perfectly, I think he's capable of doing that, but it just makes things so much more difficult. You'd like to see them be like a 6 or 7 loss team by the time they get there.
Understandably so, but now I'm going to move on. No Puka, no problem for the Rams. They beat the Jags 35-7 in London, and technically an away game, right? Mm-hmm. Because, the Jags are the home team in London, but I guess neither team is the home team. Yeah. Stafford, 21 of 33, 182 yards, 5 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence, 23 of 48, 300-ish yards, and 1 touchdown. His lone touchdown going to Travis Hunter, who had 101 yards on 8 receptions.
Good for him.
Pretty good. I guess the Rams don't need Puka. He's a great help, but this team is still very legit. I think they're still one of the top teams in the NFC right now.
Yeah, no, they played so well and they spread the ball out. Let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different players caught passes in that game for the Rams. And it was very clearly Devontae Adams as soon as they got into the red zone. I unfortunately played against him this week.
Yeah, 35 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Which, he still shows the fact that he's dominant when he gets into the red zone. I mean, you can't put him in one-on-one coverage and expect that to succeed. It won't. Yeah. And he's still that guy. Stafford, though, still that guy. The Jaguars, this was an uncharacteristic defensive performance from them, I think.
And can they not handle the bright lights of Wembley Stadium, or are the Rams just back on top? Or are they just that dominant?
I think the Jaguars played a poor game. This is not how we're used to seeing the Jaguars play. The Rams, I don't want to say they're dominant because then next week they'll go and play somebody and lose.
Exactly.
With Puka back. Or actually they have a bye, but still.
They do have a bye. I was just going to look for their next game, but there's none.
Yeah, no, they have a bye. Puka will come back, a little extra week.
Yeah, right.
Be perfect. I think the Rams are capable of doing this every time they go out there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Putting 35 up on your head.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll get more into that later, but obviously right now, Lions, Bucks, and the top of that NFC, I think you throw the Rams in there. I think you really could. And I don't think the Jags are with the top teams in the AFC right now.
Yeah, You just need Trevor Lawrence to play a little better.
Yeah.
But we'll stick to the good. I mean, hey, the Rams.
The Rams. All Rams. But let's get into the no good. Obviously, the Giants collapsing in the fourth quarter following some questionable play calls, first of all.
Yeah.
They lose 33-32. Broncos scored all 33 points in the fourth quarter. I've never seen a team do that.
This looks so goofy in the box score. I encourage you, if you're watching this, to just look at the box score, look at the fourth quarter and see all 33 points right there.
33.
It just,
on your head.
It looks really weird. But the Giants had this game packed up and put away at the start of the fourth quarter.
Well, let me say, teams were 1,062-0 when leading by 18 points with 6 minutes left. They are now 1,062-1 all time. So that's they thought it was gone. They thought they were all packed away, tied up neatly with the bow. Jackson Dart gets his, signature game as a rookie. Nope. Broncos come back.
I will say though, this game gives you some hope as a Giants fan.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, and don't get me wrong. I'm sure there is a surprising number of Giants fans out there that are encouraging losses still for better draft picks. I don't think that many. I mean, Giants fans, of course, are pissed they lost this game because they were up going into the fourth quarter so much. But I ultimately don't think Giants fans are that mad that they lose another game. But they got to see some of the bright future, and I almost question, is Brian Daboll the right coach or no? Is he or no? He'll have the first three quarters.
Yep.
And then he'll have the fourth quarter, and you're like, what do we do with you? What do we do with this guy?
And I actually remember the point where I was like, Broncos might come back in this one. Jackson Dart throws a pick to some linebacker. I can't remember exactly who it was right now. Mm-hmm. Throws a pick in the fourth quarter. Why? You're up
just
so many points. You're up 18 points. I don't understand. But that led the Broncos comeback. And I mean, Bo Nix didn't play great. Let me make that very clear. The Broncos didn't play great. Bo Nix was 27-50, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 5 carries for 50 yards, 2 touchdowns, put up 40 fantasy points. Did he look impressive? In the fourth quarter, sure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's some big red flags on this Broncos team. 100%.
Seriously. You look at the record, they're 5-2. They're 3-0 at home. Mm-hmm. They look the same as if, you were to look at a team like the Rams, 5-2. I don't know if they're actually 3-0 at home. Regardless, you look up at the standings and you go, oh, Broncos, great team. I don't know. If they play another competent team that's simply above 500, I'm very unsure if I can pick them to win that game. Yeah. I was kind of unsure about this game against the Giants. I mean, I know they're at home, but you just think, oh, maybe they just...
And with the game they had against the Jets where they just shut them down on all fronts, I would have thought, okay, rookie quarterback, similar scenario. No, the defense has not looked its part. How good we hyped them up to be, how good they are on paper. And the offense, Bo Nix has really not led the team to the level that a lot of people thought they were going to be at. Yeah. There's still a lot of time. They're in a good spot. They're still winning games, but they got to show a bit more if they want to be with the big dogs right now.
Yeah, and that's almost like a double-edged sword. They've played so bad at this point, and they're 5-2.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of teams would kill for that. So, to play as bad as the Broncos have and still be at the record they're at.
And what are the Giants now?
2-5.
2-5. They're better than a 2-5 team for sure as well.
Yeah, they do show their flashes. Genuinely, they play, decent against some pretty tough teams. So, the Giants, they got a good future, but I'm sure the fans still don't mind the losses at this point.
And then, of course, this really could have been in the not even close section, but of course, the Raiders.
Oh my God.
What happened? This looks like if you get rid of the Chiefs, 33 points, 31 points that they scored, and you just show a big 0, and you show the stats of just the Raiders, you could probably convince someone that this is a first quarter stat line.
Yeah.
First quarter game.
Yeah.
0 points. Geno Smith had 10 completions. He had 67 yards. 67. It just feels so weird to say now. 67 yards. 6, 7. No 1, no 2. Under 100 yards. Genty, excuse me. 6 carries. 21 yards. He had 6 carries the entire game. Your best player, arguably.
It's like they didn't do anything. Like they just took a knee or something. You know, if you didn't watch this game, which I don't blame you, this was ugly from the jump. I mean, there are quarterbacks that have 80 passing yards on the first drive of the game. He threw for 60. He only attempted 16 passes. What?
What was the game plan? Was the game plan just go out there and have fun like the Little League team playing the Kansas City Chiefs? I don't understand. How do you give the ball to your best player 6 times? How do you throw the ball 10 times? Or 16 times? How do you complete 10 passes? How is your leading receiver only putting up 33 yards on 5 receptions? And how are you letting a divisional opponent come in, hold you scoreless, and put up 31 points? Mahomes goes 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Pacheco has a touchdown on 50 carries. Kelsey has 54 yards. Rashee Rice comes in on his first game back, has 42 yards, 7 receptions, and 2 touchdowns. You didn't think to game plan around those guys?
No, didn't think about it.
Who did you game plan for? I don't understand. I don't get it.
This was just horrendous.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if I want to spend much more time on this. The Raiders are in a just awful state of affairs right now. Yeah. And I'm not sure who to point the finger at.
Yeah.
Is it Pete Carroll? Is it Geno Smith? I would never point the finger at Ashton Genty. God knows he's probably suffering, every week that he plays.
Here's what I'll say, right? They go into the bye week. Something's got to change. They do have a bye this week.
You're going into a bye off a 31-0 loss?
Yeah. So you go into the bye after a slide.
Eye of shame and disappointment.
After putting up I don't even know how many points they've put up in the last 3 games. Probably not a lot.
Yeah.
You head into the bye. Something changes. Something's got to change. I don't know what it is. Geno Smith's got to be on a tight leash. You might get Brock Bowers back now. Your number 1 target. And you see how that game plays out after the bye, and then you say, okay, here's what our team looks like. This is the Raiders. If they suck in that game, you wipe the slate clean. You say, all right, we got Genty, we've got Brock Bowers. Let's tank. Let's absolutely tank. We are not winning this division right now.
Yeah, and just want to point out that the Patriots did lose to them.
We won.
Remember your power rankings from last week. And update, last 3 weeks for the Raiders, their point total, 26.
26, okay.
And in one of those games, they scored 20 points. That was against the Titans in a win.
Oh, good job, guys.
They lost to the Colts 6-40 3 weeks ago, if you forgot that.
So their opponents have scored 70 points in the last 2 games, and they've put up 6.
The opponents have scored 81 points to the Raiders 26 in the past 3 weeks.
Just a playoff team.
Just dreadful.
It's not even close to a playoff team.
That's not it.
The defense is
seeing
bad.
A team like the Raiders makes you want to argue for what is the term in soccer?
Relegation.
Relegation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The Raiders should be relegated. The relegated Raiders.
Send the Raiders down. Send the Jets down. You could argue send the Titans down.
We ass. Sorry.
You just go to 30 teams like baseball. Call it a day.
Just don't even bring anyone back up. We're just tired. Just, you know what? Trade everybody from those teams that suck so bad to the rest of the NFL.
Yeah.
Product is better everywhere else. We're good. 30 teams.
All right.
Sign me up if you want,
Perfect. But And that really could count for the not even close. But let's get into the not even close.
Yeah.
Because
unfortunately, there's worse.
Somehow there's worse.
Because we did at least expect the Raiders to lose, right?
Yeah, I did expect the Raiders to lose. I didn't expect Justin Fields to get benched to the Panthers in a 13-6 loss.
God.
Terrible game. First of all, terrible game for both sides. Just one of those games you don't pay attention to at all, and then you say, wow, all right, the Jets lost.
Yeah, okay, a team won.
Yeah, one of those teams won. Tyrod Taylor was the leading passer. He came in the fourth quarter. 10 for 22, 126 yards, and 2 interceptions for the guy that came off the bench. Let me make that very clear. And then Fields was 6 for 12, 46 yards. Breece Hall, 11 carries, 40 yards, 2 receptions, 14 yards.
There's just nothing that stands out at all. They haven't scored a touchdown in multiple weeks, correct?
Yeah.
I want to say they did not score a touchdown against the Broncos last week.
Did they?
I mean, I can check if you want to take us through the rest of this game, you may while I take
yeah, sure. Bryce Young was 15 of 25, 138 yards, a touchdown. Rico Dowdle was the leading rusher still with Chuba Hubbard back. 17 carries, 80 yards. Chuba had 14 carries for 30 yards. Xavier Legette was the leading receiver, 9 receptions, 100-ish yards, and a touchdown. And Justin Fields gets benched in the third quarter, and it is now confirmed that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starting quarterback for the next week.
If you would like to hear what owner Woody Johnson has to say about Justin Fields, I'll tell you this. He had all praise for Aaron Glenn. This happened 22 minutes ago, so we really didn't have time to throw this in the show, but I figured I'd bring it up.
I did see it right before we got here.
He said, "It's hard when you have a quarterback with a rating that he's got. I mean, he has ability, but something just is not jiving. You have to play consistently at that position, and that's what we're going to try to do for the remainder of the season."
He also said any coach would suffer and fall to 0-7 with that quarterback in that situation.
He could be right.
Not to be that guy, but you didn't want Aaron Rodgers. You didn't want half the guys that are on this team. You follow your son and his Madden predictions.
His son told him he had a star development trait on Madden.
And now you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't want him either. Make a decision. And I hate to go after an organization. I know there's a lot that goes into these decisions.
Yeah.
Justin Fields has a lot of potential. I honestly, at this point, think it's just the Jets. I think it's just the Jets. I don't know what they do to their quarterbacks. I don't know what kind of scheme they think they're running. It is not working. It hasn't worked for Aaron Rodgers. He's playing great on the Steelers. It didn't work for Sam Darnold. He's playing unbelievable football right now. I don't know what's wrong with your team. I'm sorry. I just don't. And Zach Wilson, that was just a bad pick, but that's not the point.
I'm like, how does Justin Fields even walk into the team facility this upcoming weekend, knowing what his owner said about him? Like, your owner just smeared you all across the press in defense of the head coach. You're taking that's what a coach is supposed to do. The coach is supposed to take the heat. The players can just deal with it. They play horribly. Oh, coach.
Right.
What the hell?
Right.
This is the opposite, and it's coming from the owner. I want to echo what you said. A lot of decisions go into, they let Aaron Rodgers walk and all this. But when you won't even defend your own players, who's going to want to play for you?
Exactly.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And that's not how you breed an NFL franchise. In my limited knowledge, I imagine that's not how you breed an NFL franchise that wins games. And you haven't. So.
And for Justin Fields, I still believe in him. At the end of the day, I still believe in him. I know he's got a losing record. I know he's terrible. Well, he's played terribly.
Yes.
He's played for the Bears, who have just never been good with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He's played for the Steelers. He played great. I thought he played really well.
Yeah, he did. He did lead them to a winning record.
Yep.
In his time.
And now he's played for the Jets. Can you really blame him? If he goes what I would like to see for Justin Fields. Justin Fields, I think you should take a plane to Las Vegas and plead your case to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
And that would be a good offense. That would be a scary offense.
They could have like the Walmart version of what the Ravens have, with Derrick Henry and Lamar, that little,
exactly.
read. They could have it with Fields and Genty.
You have the most consistent receiver in Brock Bowers, or tight end in Brock Bowers. The best safety blanket I think you can get outside of maybe like Trey McBride, right?
I'm just saying. Points.
It's a good... And in neither case is the O-line great. The Jets' O-line is awful. The Raiders' O-line might even be worse. But it's something different.
What a career path, if you really want to think about it that way. Going from team of doom and despair to team of doom and despair.
More,
I guess
probably less doom and despair.
That's slightly less.
Where else could he go? I mean, he'll end up being a backup somewhere.
Honestly, the Raiders need him the most right now.
Raiders, Cardinals.
Let him be a backup for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll... Yeah. Never mind.
Send him to San Francisco. That's where I want him to go.
Oh my!
Send him to San Francisco.
MVP candidate in San Fran, right there.
That's what I want to see out of Justin Fields. But I digress. Let's finish out the Field Goals of the Week here.
Stop talking about the Jets.
Man, is it ever over for the NFC East? Because Mike McDaniel. How is he still employed? You know what? It gives me faith for the future to know that I could be terrible at my job and my employer wouldn't let me go.
Yeah.
They would still have faith in me.
Yeah. And the owner of the Dolphins has not come out and say, our quarterback sucks. I don't blame Mike McDaniel at all. However, people still understand that. I think that's the message.
But Mike McDaniel has also said that. But yeah.
I wouldn't mind if Mike McDaniel got fired and wanted to be the OC of the Buffalo Bills.
That's my career.
I think he's a great OC.
He would be a great OC anywhere.
Just
granted,
throw that out there.
He is still the head coach of the Dolphins as it stands. They lost 31-6 to the Browns, the Cleveland Browns. They fall to 1-6 this year. Mm-hmm. Their only win was what? Against... They beat.
Man, who did they beat? The Jets.
They did beat the Jets.
They barely beat the Jets 27-21 in week 3.
Congrats, guys. You did it. You beat the Jets. Tua's 12 for 23, 100 yards, and 3 interceptions. It's ugly. McDaniels has a press conference, is like, we need our guys to execute something along the lines of like, we can't have them throw 10 interceptions. Who could he be talking about? I wonder. Yeah. Achane is genuinely the only bright spot on this team. 13 carries for 82 yards.
Still efficient. I don't even understand how you can be efficient on this team, but he is. Achane is still really good.
Yeah. I don't even know what you do if you're the Dolphins, especially when Quinshon Judkins has 3 touchdowns on your head. But
yeah, it's
I don't know. Would you rather be in the Jets position or the Dolphins position?
Well, the Jets have the number 1 pick right now, so I'd rather be in the Jets position.
The first 3 picks could honestly be, probably Dolphins, Jets, Raiders, or Raiders, Dolphins, Jets, or Jets, Dolphins, Raiders.
Something with those
in that 3 combination. And there's just nobody for them to take anyway. So
or if the Titans continue to on the roll they're on.
Yeah, I could see that happening. But the AFC East got 2 promising teams and 2 teams that are just in the dumps.
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say. That was the Field Goals of the Week. Let's get into our extra point. We're going to do some way too early awards. We're in week 7, but here's who we think would win every award if there was an award show tomorrow. Let's start with the MVP. Last night, Baker Mayfield kind of ruined his case.
Mm-hmm.
He did. I'm gonna still go with him as it stands.
He's got some momentum still.
But can I give an honorable mention to either Christian McCaffrey or Bijan Robinson?
You can, but I think you're just a big Falcons fan and you really love Bijan Robinson.
If the Falcons make the playoffs, I think you could argue the case. for Bijan to be MVP.
You could argue it, but he won't.
Fair.
He's a great offensive player of the year candidate.
Yes.
Though.
Yeah.
But my MVP, I still think it's gonna be Josh Allen. Like he's kind of lost right now between Daniel Jones and Baker and Mahomes and all that. But
you could argue Jared Goff.
Yeah, even Jared Goff after. I mean, they just smacked the Bucks. But I mean, Josh is always going to be there. I think we'll still win 12 or more games. He's going to be in the conversation, and he's going to play well too. Yeah,
I don't disagree. Offensive player of the year, though, got to give it to Bijan. Again, could be CMC. Just depends.
No, I agree. It's like you mentioned, playoffs would help the case.
Yeah,
if the Falcons can make it. But I agree. I think Bijan. I mean, he's so explosive.
He's unbelievable to watch.
Yeah.
But of course, the offense revolves around CMC, so who knows? Defensive player of the year. Who do you got here? Because it is kind of a toss-up right now.
I think it usually ends up going, most of the momentum goes to the sack leader. Mm-hmm. And I think Hutchinson's going to lead in sacks by the time it's said and done at the end of this season. And I think that's just going to make him depoy. That's usually the measuring stick they use, I think.
Right now, I have Nick Bonito. I think he's playing unbelievable football. Late round pick. Anybody could have got him. Yeah. And man, the Broncos have developed him into something special. He's a premier edge rusher in the league. I really like what he's doing for the Broncos, but who knows if he'll get it. I don't know. He's still kind of underrated right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then offensive rookie of the year, I have Emeka Egbuka just based on how his injury plays out. If he's fine, I think that's who's going to win it.
I think your offensive rookie of the year is probably going to be a quarterback by the name of Jackson Dart. I think the quarterback position is always looked at first. He's also just been playing so well. They should have won that game against the Broncos.
Yeah.
They didn't. I think he's still going to play well enough for people. I mean, just sheer volume. He threw 50 passes this week. Yeah. He's going to do that a lot of weeks in the future, too. He's simply going to have the stats.
Yeah.
I think
if he played those first 3 games, you could really argue it right now, especially.
But I think it would almost be like the nail is in the wood. Just have to hit it down, But if he played the first 3 weeks, it would have helped. I think he's still fine. He'll win it, in my opinion.
Now, here's the one that's really up in the air right now. Mm-hmm. Defensive rookie of the year.
Always is.
Not a ton of really, really strong candidates right off the bat. I initially, just from observations, thought either Mason Graham or Xavier Watts. Playing at extremely high levels. Xavier Watts won Rookie of the Month last year in September. I feel like that's a pretty strong case for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, what else can you ask from him?
The odds makers for DraftKings and BetMGM and FanDuel would disagree, however. Because when I looked at this, I was very surprised to see Mason Graham and Xavier Watts are not even close to being the favorites.
Yeah.
And they are. I want to give you credit. They are playing well.
And listen, we're not betting men, but when you look at it, you're like, I wonder how everybody's viewing this right now. And you see like plus 4,000 for Mason Graham. You're like, this can't be right. I just don't understand.
And when you have someone like Maxwell Harrison at plus 4,000 and Mason Graham actually plus 4,500 behind crazy. Someone who's not crazy. Even played yet. It's
crazy.
Lost on me.
But you said the current favorite, Jihad Campbell.
Yes, he is the current favorite. It's really, there's 3 guys, Jihad Campbell, Abdul Carter, Carson Schwessinger. I think Abdul Carter could pull away with it because he's in the bigger market. But, Jihad Campbell, he'll be on the best team of all of those. So they'll probably end up giving it to him too. Yeah, I think.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Mason Graham is some kind of poll later down the line. But,
or at least Xavier Watts, like you just mentioned, he was the defensive rookie of the month last month. So
anyway, final thing, comeback player of the year. Not really that big of a debate. It's Daniel Jones. As much as I don't want to say it's Daniel Jones.
That's the obvious answer. Played so well so far this year, leading the best team in the NFL, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Oh, yeah. The door's locked.
Go let him in. Actually, it is locked. I don't know if you heard. Mike tried to come in earlier in the episode.
Yeah, it is what it is. But one more thing for the extra point here. We have a QB comparison, a bit different than your usual QB comparison. Through their first 6 seasons, I have 3 quarterbacks.
Okay. So two quarterbacks that have played at least 6 seasons.
Yes.
You know,
three quarterbacks that have played.
Oh, there are three.
6 seasons. Yes. There's 3. I don't know. You just pick one. Do like 1, 2, 3, whatever. QB1 had on average, 32nd ranked O-line.
Jeez.
12,000, or not 12,000, 1,292 pressures, 251 QB hits, 174 sacks, 332 rushes. So, and then 602 total hits taken. His injuries include his shoulders, his ribs, his kidneys, multiple concussions, his elbows, and his ankle.
Kidneys?
Like hit from the back.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Jeez. This is an interesting comparison. Yeah. Continue. This is actually fun.
QB2, 31 ranked O-line on average, 1,008 pressures, 258 QB hits, 201 sacks, 227 rushes, 641 total QB hits. He has injured his ACL, his MCL, and his PCL, his meniscus, his calf, his toe, and his wrist.
I think I know who that is.
Okay.
But continue.
QB3, 32 ranked O-line on average, 1,185 pressures, 328 QB hits, 187 sacks, 316 rushes, 781 total hits. He's injured his knee, his ribs, his finger, his foot, and his ankle. So really, the injuries haven't been that bad.
No. I think I know who QB2 is just from the injuries. However, those injuries aren't good.
No.
And from the rest of the stats, like pretending I don't know who QB2 is, I guess maybe the rushing upside of quarterback 1. Like, you know, they've taken they've taken the least sacks. I guess, and they've ran away most often.
In terms of like worst, I don't even know what you would say, like best to worst position, like best to worst spot that they're in.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take, I don't know who QB1 is. I'm going to take QB1 though.
All right.
Simply because the injuries, they're not terrible, you know? They're not horrible. Shoulders, ribs, kidneys. I mean, some concussions, elbows, ankle. That's
QB3 also doesn't have a ton of injuries. But
that is true too. For me, just based on these stats between QB1 and QB3, which is insane considering who QB2 is, I think.
So who do you think QB2 is?
I was thinking based on injuries. Is that Joe Burrow?
Yeah, it's Joe Burrow.
It is Joe Burrow. Okay.
I'll let you know that.
I do like Joe Burrow. But I think based on these stats alone, I want to go QB1 and then maybe QB3 and then maybe last Joe Burrow because I mean he's been sacked over 200 times.
Very injury prone.
Yes.
201 sacks is crazy. I just want to say
over 200
6
seasons.
So you said QB1 first.
Yes.
QB1, that's Andrew Luck.
Wow. Okay. Well, he was a dog. Don't get it twisted.
He was very good, but he had to retire early due to his injuries and his situation. So got to take that into effect. QB3, that's Justin Herbert of the LA Chargers.
Okay.
In arguably a worse situation than Joe Burrow, just less injury prone in my opinion. So Andrew Luck, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, based on situation, I guess. But these Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are getting hit more times than Andrew Luck. Just
that is insane.
Putting that into perspective.
Yeah, and honestly, that was like the one thing that I noticed is, you know, he's been sacked less, he's been hit less.
Yep.
And the injuries don't stand out as much as an ACL, MCL, all that stuff. It's insane to think that a guy who retired due to the wear and tear on your body that football, you know, demands.
Yeah.
Has been hit less than Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert.
And Justin Herbert has been hit the most of any of the three. Obviously, they buffed that O-line a bit. Joe Alt. Who's on the right side? Rashawn Slater, right? Yeah.
That sounds like a good pull.
Very good tackles. Just the O-line can't get it together. Justin Herbert has been under duress his entire career. But yeah, I just wanted to put that into perspective.
Yeah.
So.
And well, you know, and that brings some clarity to why Justin Herbert, he's always had the rocket arm. He's He's been a Josh Allen prototype since day one. He's even had the rushing ability and the speed. Injuries have limited that. It's because of the O-line. At least the first 6 seasons. Like, it's got to be better. Yeah.
But let's move on to our fantasy starts and sits. Wasn't great last week. Really, I feel like every week we say that at this point. Did really well on my sits. I went 4 for 5 on my sits, I believe. Starts, it was a little rough. I think I got 3 out of 5. I'm 19 and 16 overall. And starts 22 and 13 on sits. So at least I'm reliable in that department.
Yeah, if you tell people to sit somebody, they should just sit them.
Yeah. How are you doing? I don't have your record pulled up right now.
Yeah, I'm 18 and 17 on starts. So basically, just flip a coin. I was 3 and 2 last week, and I'm 19 and 16 on sits.
Yeah.
Also, basically, just flip a coin, guys. I got to be better. I really do.
It's all right, but let's get into it. Whether you listen to us or not, that's up to you. Jordan Love at Pittsburgh. He needs to bounce back a bit, but I think you put him on the bench. Pittsburgh gives up I'm sorry. This is a start. I apologize.
No, that's fine.
He needs to bounce back a bit. Take him off the bench.
Yes.
Pittsburgh gives up the 4th most points to the QB. When I was reading it, I was like, that doesn't sound right, but for some reason, I thought it was to sit. Anyway, start Jordan Love against Pittsburgh.
I would have to say you got to start Joey Flacco. All right. He's playing the Jets.
Yeah.
They're 0-7.
Former team.
There's no end in sight. Joe Flacco had 25 last week. What is he going to do against the Jets?
Yeah, I like that. For my wide receiver, I'm going to start Zay Flowers at Chicago. Lamar might be coming back. I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you if Lamar is going to play this week. But the Bears give up the 7th most points to wide receivers. So at least there's that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Wan'Dale Robinson. He's had the volume in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And when you watch him get the ball, he looks really good. And I think Dart likes to throw the ball his way as well. He's kind of the only guy on this offense. Additionally, they're playing the Eagles. Going to be a lot of heavy pass script games. They threw the ball 50 times last week. Everything is telling you to start Wan'Dale Robinson this week.
Yeah, I agree. At running back. And this is a stretch, and I know it's a stretch, but start Breece Hall against Cincinnati. I think Tyrod Taylor gives this offense some life.
A chance.
And they have to rely on the running back a bit, especially with it being unknown. And Cincinnati currently gives up the most points to running backs in fantasy. So I'd give him the start this week despite some lackluster previous weeks.
Yeah, and not to cherry pick the Cowboys again here, but I have to just start the running back against the Cowboys. It's J.K. Dobbins this time.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. Just start J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, I agree. Tight end. Give me another Jet. You just got to trust the process here. Mason Taylor at Cincinnati. They give the most points to tight ends. And we just watched Pat Freiermuth go crazy against the Cincinnati defense. I think you give him a start this week.
Yeah, you also have to start tight end Oronde Gadsden the second. I've been so excited to talk about my boy out of Syracuse. If you don't know, I'm from Syracuse, so a huge fan. He's not a tight end. I would just to put that out there. He is a very large receiver, and it shows. He had 25 points last week. He only had, I think, 11 points the week prior, but on 9 targets. Wow. The volume looks like it's there.
I didn't know that.
The Vikings are like 3rd or 4th against wide receivers in fantasy. They're only 11th against tight ends. A bit of a weak spot on a defense that is actually very good. I think regardless of the matchup, Oronde Gadsden demands that you start him this week. He's been balling.
Yeah. What can I say? I agree with everything you said so far.
Come on.
At flex, I'm going to go with another tight end. I've been starting tight ends at the flex a lot recently, actually. I won't lie to you. Give me Cade Otton at New Orleans. He's practically the number 1 target. Mm-hmm. He just is that guy right now for Tampa Bay. He's their safety blanket. And New Orleans gives up the 10th most points to the tight end position.
Yeah, I said start Cade Otton last week. Worked out. And again, I mean, who are they going to throw to?
Exactly.
They need someone reliable like him. So, but for my flex, I'm going to go with a little bit of a risk. I'm going to say start Alec Ayamanar against the Colts.
Yeah.
They haven't defended wide receivers very well. They're actually 32nd. I think that has a lot more to do with the fact that teams are playing catch up against them. I mean, you just saw the Chargers. They were down 14 basically the entire game against the Colts. And Justin Herbert had a great week. He threw for over 400 yards. That could easily happen. I'm not saying Cam Ward throws for 400 yards. But he could throw the ball a lot. Alec Iomanner's the best guy there. I think Ridley could be dealing with a hamstring. Lots of reasons for you to start Iomanner against the Colts.
He's currently a free agent in most of my fantasy leagues, so he probably is in yours as well. So give him a pickup. One thing with the Colts defense, a lot of injuries as well. So one thing to note. But let's get into our sits. I'm going to start with the QB, Drake May against Cleveland.
Be careful. I said him last week.
Wouldn't tell you any other week to sit Drake May, but sit Drake May this week against Cleveland. This defense is really scary. They give up the fourth least amount of points to the QB position. They give up no points, basically, to running backs or wide receivers. I would put him on the bench, or at least know that he's going to get under 20 points this week.
Yeah, I think you could have a similar thing happen with Justin Herbert. Believe me, I still think he's going to get Gadsden the ball, but I don't think Herbert's going to just ball out like he has been. He's kind of due for a lackluster week anyways. I believe in due. So, hey, he's playing the Vikings, 6th against quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I would say sit him if you have a better option.
And this time, when I tell you to sit this wide receiver, George Pickens, you can believe me, because last time I said it, he put up 33 points. But sit George Pickens this week against Denver. CD's back. Denver's defense gives up the least amount of points to receivers. They're locked down. George Pickens, meh. I just don't believe in him this week. At least know that he's going to get under 15 points.
I would say Michael Pittman Jr. is also due for an under 15-point week. He's been very lucky just getting the ball into the end zone. He's had some bad weeks where a touchdown really saves him for sure. And I'm not sure if the volume is there as much as I really want it to be. He does get targets. I will say he does get targets. He's on the best team in the league right now. But, again, he's due to not score a touchdown, and that's been saving him last couple of weeks. So
yeah. But let's get into running back, a guy that I told you to start last week. I'm going to tell you to sit this week. It's Jaylen Warren against the Green Bay Packers. Again, good last week. Very good last week. Got me a win in that win column for sure. But Green Bay gives up the least amount of points to running back. They've been great in rush defense this year. And Jaylen Warren's all over the board right now. I think you, again, expect him to get under 15 points at least.
Yeah. I'm going to take a gamble on running back. I'm going to take an absolute dog. And I'm going to say that you should at least temper expectations for Javonte Williams. He's going to have a bad week eventually. No one sits there and averages, I mean, at least of Javonte Williams, caliber, I would assume. The Cowboys aren't going to score 40 points every week. They can't. It's not sustainable. They're finally playing a great defense in Denver. I think maybe, just maybe, he's only a flex value option this week. I would argue maybe even bench, but I would never bench him. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's coming from me. He's on my team. I'm not going to bench him, but I'm not going to feel great about starting him this week.
And then tight end, sit George Kittle. I don't know if that's too obvious or not. He's playing Houston. He's clearly just not in the game plan yet. Texans give up the third least amount of points to tight end.
Yeah. And I'm going to bring up another guy that I feel like we tell you to sit a lot, even though he's pretty good. I think this might be his third time or fourth time even that we've said sit. But he's still good. Zach Ertz is a great tight end.
He is a great tight end, yeah.
But he's playing the Kansas City Chiefs, and man, the Commanders have not had a lot of good matchups for him. No. Doesn't get better with the Chiefs. Third against tight ends. I told you to sit, Mayer or Bowers, whoever it was, against the Chiefs. Last week, it obviously shut out. Same thing with Ertz here. Yeah. And I thought about maybe saying sit Jaden Daniels, but he might not even play. So I thought, well, I'm not going to say that. Yeah. Why?
I'm gonna have to unfortunately fade you on that pick because I'll have to start him this week over Trey McBride because he's on the bye week.
Okay, fine.
But then in my flex, I have Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Bill himself, against that same Kansas City Chiefs defense. He's just been really inconsistent, very low point scorer. Kansas City gave up 22 rush yards last week to Ashton Genty. Dude, come on, really? You're not starting.
Yeah, he's giving Kenneth Walker right now. Yeah. Lots of negative runs or just 4-yard carries. Yeah. It's just he looks small behind that line. That's all I'll say. Yeah. My flex that I'm going to tell you to sit is DK Metcalf. He has very limited volume, maybe 5 targets a week. He's gotten very lucky with a lot of his touchdowns. I think he scored a touchdown in all but 1 or 2 weeks. He's had 2 11-point weeks in which he scored a touchdown. Guys, that's not sustainable. I don't care who he's playing. He was due to not play well this week anyways. DK Metcalf, you got to sit him.
Now, that will do it for our fantasy starts and sits. Let's get into the forecasts of the week. We can't tell you the weather, but of course we can make some predictions for the next week of football. I can't, clearly. I'm 25 of 23. I had a really rough week last week. I tried to go opposite of you, and it just didn't work. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
You're 30 of 18, though, so maybe just follow what James says. Don't listen to me. Yeah. But let's start with Thursday night game. Vikings at Chargers. Now,
I might change my mind while we talk about this one.
I'm thinking the same thing. This could really go anyway. I want to go with the Chargers just based on high-powered offense, I guess. But the defense...
And the Vikings almost beat the Eagles last week. They look pretty good.
If they do end up... No, Carson Wentz is just not good enough. Give me the Chargers. And even if they start J.J. McCarthy, I don't believe in him.
No, I'm from the same process. I think the Vikings could make it interesting. They certainly were close against the Eagles. You almost imagine the Vikings come out and beat the crap out of the Chargers. Yeah. But I don't see the Chargers losing a third game at this point in the season.
Yeah, and you know what I will say is Jim Harbaugh playing his former quarterback. I just don't believe it. But let's get into 1 p.m. 49ers at Texans, I think, is the best game here. Give me the 49ers. I don't love what I'm seeing out of the Texans at all. I think they've been very lackluster this year.
Yeah, I've had to resist the urge to not say CJ Stroud as my QB fantasy sit every single week because of how bad their offense has been as a whole. He's had some good weeks, but I can't bet on the Titans at all right now. I just give me the Niners easy.
Yeah, I agree. And then Bears, Ravens. Again, one of those weird ones where if it was any other year, you'd be like Ravens. But I'm going to say if Lamar plays, give me the Ravens. If he doesn't play, I'm getting a cheat code here. Give me the Bears.
I mean, this is a very important what if. Yeah. I know like people, hey, we don't do ifs. We're taking a
cheat game here. I have to.
If Lamar doesn't play, I think the Bears are going to, I don't know about beat the crap out of them, but I think the Bears would win by multiple possessions, in my opinion. I just don't think the Ravens would be able to keep up. But if Lamar plays, I think it's the other way around. I think the Ravens could beat the crap out of the Bears.
Chicago Bears, the only team to score 21 or more points in every game so far this season. And then if we get to 4 p.m., another team that's been very high-powered, Cowboys at Broncos. I'm sure I'm going to lose a point here, but give me the Cowboys.
Betting on the Cowboys.
Dude, they looked so good last week. With CD back, they genuinely looked so good. But the Broncos are so wishy-washy right now. I just can't take them.
Yeah, ultimately, the Commanders couldn't run the ball against the Cowboys. I think the Broncos are going to be able to do that at a higher rate, and I think that's what's going to lead them to win this game. Give me the Broncos, and it's just Cowboys thing. It's impossible. They can't win 2 weeks in a row. What are you talking about?
That's a good point.
Especially after a good standout win.
Yeah, I can't be any more in a terrible record than I am now. But Sunday Night Football, Packers, Steelers. Another one where I probably am wrong, but give me the Steelers.
At home?
Aaron Rodgers against his former team. The Packers, that's home for him. It's all a home game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pittsburgh is home, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I'm going to take the Packers here. I think they're just a better team, and I think the Steelers, they do their thing. They start 4-1, now they're 4-2, 4-3, 4-4.
Yeah.
Maybe finish around 500, and there you go, Mike Tomlin.
I mean, I can't disagree with that, but I think the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers is playing really well. If their defense kind of figures it out, I think it could be a shootout. I'm not in love with the Packers, but that's a whole separate conversation. Monday Night Football, our final game here. Commanders at Chiefs. It's the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Commanders would really have to fix up the run game against a defense that's really good against the run. Impossible, in my opinion. They pull one out against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. It's going to be very hard.
It's just not happening. Lock of the week here. We are 2-0 to wrap it up. I'm taking Falcons over Dolphins.
Which was what I would have taken if you didn't take it already.
It's another bye week for the Falcons here. Hopefully. Please don't let me down.
I really hope I can clip that at the end of the week. But
please don't let me down. I'm begging. Like, how? If we lose to the Dolphins, it's over. You sell the season. You fire Raheem Morris.
Hey, well, another team that could be on the verge of firing somebody, the Titans. I think they lose to the Colts big time. I know it's a divisional game and they get hairy, Do I need to repeat what Cam Ward thinks? No, I don't. You understand. Colts over Titans, lock of the week.
Yeah, and we're perfect so far. Please, Falcons. I'm begging you, don't let me down. But that will do it for our show. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, we will see you next week. Go watch some football. Bye-bye.
Peace.